Hi, welcome to the Futures of SQL Server on Linux session. My name is Uma Chandar. I'm a program manager in the SQL Server team. My focus areas are SQL Server on Linux, Polybase, and machine learning services in SQL Server. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the future features in the vNext of SQL Server on Linux. A caveat with this session is that all the items in this session may change in the future since we are not done with our planning, so please keep that in mind. Okay, so the first area we are looking at for investment in Linux is what we call a SQL Server as a data hub. Today, you can use Polybase and link servers on Windows to get to data external to SQL Server. Now, with the new connectors which we will ship in the vNext of SQL Server, you can now have native connectivity to Oracle, Teradata, MongoDB, and other data sources. So this, out of the box, will provide functionality from Linux to talk to external data sources through Polybase. So this is one of the big investment areas for us, both on Windows and Linux in SQL Server vNext. Now, the next feature area that we are looking at is machine learning services on Linux. As you know, we added machine learning services support in SQL Server 2016. And in 2017, we extended it to support Python. So now for vNext, we are bringing the support from Windows over to Linux. So you can run now your R and Python scripts in SQL Server. Along with this, we are also looking at extending the in-database package management to support both R and Python packages. This feature will allow you to store the packages in the database and have it installed automatically when you execute your scripts. So this is functionality which will provide parity with the Windows environment and the Windows features. And we're excited to bring this over to Linux. And lastly, I have a list of features which we are investing for vNext based on customer feedback and many of the lab engagements which we have done here. So the first feature in the area of security is enabling support for Linux accounts so that just like on Windows where you can connect to SQL Server without a password, you can now log in and do the same on your Linux machine or your Mac desktop. So this is a feature which will give you ability to use your local Linux accounts as logins in SQL Server. The second area which we're looking at in terms of security is the Active Directory support. So here, this is more about extending and working with the vendors who provide many solutions on Windows and have them certify their applications on top of SQL Server to work on Linux also. So this is something we've heard as feedback from our customers, and we're looking at how to address that for vNext. The next item which we're looking at is the replication support on Linux. So this will allow you to use SQL Server on Linux as a subscriber or a distributor on Linux. And we'll also bring the rest of the functionality which you're using on Windows to Linux. And lastly, the area of distributed transactions. So we've had feedback from customers where they have applications which do a distributed transaction between SQL Server and other data sources, or even between SQL Server and other SQL Server instances. So now we are looking at enabling the distributed transaction support for such multi-database, multi-instance transactions. Okay, so with that, I hope you enjoyed the course on SQL Server on Linux. You also got an idea of how to use SQL Server with containers. I'm sure you're excited about the HA features on Linux and how to get the best performance out of the platform and so on. And the last session here was about the futures of SQL Server on Linux, just to give you an idea of where we are investing and what are some of the features you will see in the upcoming CTP. Thank you very much.